My videos keep getting cut off after I explained the process in which I called treason against the four former administrations. And it occurred during the Trump administration. So that administration is not included in my call of treason. I want to know why my case didn't make it to Congress, because that's what it was supposed to do in due process. Um, we've got a situation where I have multiple family members that were murdered. And then on top of that, we've also got the law enforcement who, I do have that ranger badge in California. It's an honorary badge, but it's still I was still given the badge because of my service for law enforcement and volunteer work, which I've done most of my life. On top of that, I've got multiple family members who are either in law enforcement or high-ranking officials in the government or the military. So for me to call treason, it's really relevant, especially considering I'm a civil rights activist going back to the age of 5 in Tennessee, where we've got people that are sitting there, and I think they've been purposely positioned there because of what happened to me in Tennessee by being slapped by a teacher, which is so relevant in the situation regarding Project Veritas when they're going after specific teachers who are posting Antifa flags and doing things that are considered tyranny and treasonous. When they're trying to indoctrinate our children into a lifestyle that's just not okay and anti-American. We know for a fact that I called treason multiple times during the Trump administration, and this was not heard by Congress. I called it during, at that time, the last 4 former administrations of our government, specifically because of a situation involving same-sex rape of multiple victims on military bases during the Clinton administration. The Bush administration and the Obama administration helped cover this up. I don't think Obama started out trying to cover it up, but I do believe that in the end, because Hillary Clinton was the secretary, that she lied about the situation in order to cover it up for the sake of preserving her husband's legacy. So we've got some serious issues here, along with the fact that these guys keep repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly, attacking law enforcement and their families, including wrongfully removing large amounts of people's children and elderly who support law enforcement or are involved with law enforcement like me and my family are. So we've got some serious issues here that need to be addressed. I called treason repeatedly, and then we've got Biden and Harris over there who cheated in our last election in order to gain access to the White House, and I have to think that that's because I called treason, because I am actually a reputable source. My case was investigated with regards to the 4 same-sex rapes by NCIS at the time that it occurred. And they told me eventually it would come to a head, which is one of the reasons that I called treason, because I knew that there was the potential that I could actually be called as a witness, because I believe that the reason it was covered up wasn't just because of the Monica Lewinsky scandal, but it was also because they were trying to push what they call the LGBTQ. They call it that now. It used to be called the LWBTQ, which is what I demand that it go back to, especially considering there's religious persecution involved, not just with regards to trying to push the LGBTQ agenda, but also because there were 4 same-sex rapes involved that they covered up in effort to push their LGBTQ agenda, which is religious persecution. And I believe that these people should be prosecuted. I said many times that I feel that after they're prosecuted, they will be convicted, especially with the case that I put forth. If it's brought forward in its entirety. I just don't understand why my case wasn't brought to light considering I did call treason, we've got a whole bunch of people crying out now because they see what's going on with regards to the election fraud and the stealing of the children, along with what they're doing to our elderly. And this needs to be brought to light so that we could deal with this situation and get these imposters and fraudulent people out of our administration so we can do everything we can to improve the lives of Americans with God's love. God bless America. Have a blessed day. And back the badge.